Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Rex.
I'm Daniel, and today we're talking about blended malt whiskey.
Yes, blended
now,
malt whiskey.
We're going to start with either Lowland or Highland. Which one do you want to start with?
You know what? When they go high, I go low.
Let's go low. All right. So, Epicurean. This is Douglas
it's
Lang.
Supposed to be reversed. But
Yeah,
I
true.
did the thing.
So this is Epicurean.
Yeah.
Douglas Lang is an independent bottling company that, similar to Compass Box,
The color on this.
I know, similar to Compass Box, blends whiskey, but they stick, as far as I know, they stick to blending malts.
Wow.
So this is a product of Lowland Distilleries. Now we know Auchentoshan and we know Glenkinchie.
Right.
Technically, there's also Ailsa Bay, but I don't think that's in here because that's a peated whiskey.
Sure.
So, and we know probably Auchentoshan and Glenkinchie are probably in here.
Yep.
But this is kind of cool, huh?
Is that made to be paired with food?
Oh, that's so light and buttery.
Epicurean. Well, so it's savory.
Yeah, but it's savory.
There's an umami element to it.
You know why? It's savory, like when you put when you strip herbs, fresh herbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a.
Not savory like meat.
It's not sage.
Think like rosemary, maybe, or what are the savory sages? Sage, rosemary, thyme. It's a savory like herbal. Nice again. It's savory like herbal savory, not like meaty savory.
I would agree.
Right?
Now the lightness. Now we can circle to the lightness.
Yeah. Citrus.
And then is it?
And then just vanilla candy.
Wow. So it's not sour. Could it be earthy?
No, I think.
Can I say earthy? Because I can't. I don't feel like I can say
no,
earthy.
I think
with
sour
this.
was the. I think you were right when you said sour,
Yeah.
but it's the malty sourness.
Yeah.
Like you know when Deb is dumping a batch or doing a certain cut, and you get to that funk of the beer.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. The yeasty beer funk.
Yeah, there we go.
Right?
All right, we got the thread.
All right.
Why is it so light though?
Oh, there's some smoke in there. There could be Ailsa Bay.
This is young.
Yeah.
There's no age statement. I'm telling you.
What is in here? Because normally Lowland whiskey is not smoky, but I would swear there was some smoke in it, wouldn't you?
I could bet my left that there's no E150A food coloring.
Yeah, so it's almost invisible.
It's like you poured me menu make or something. There's a smoky
Okay,
element.
well, maybe not.
Yeah, hold on. There's the smokiness.
There is a hint of it, and the only one I know doing truly peated Lowland is Ailsa Bay, and they're babies. But I think Douglas Lang has been doing Epicurean long before them. So who knows?
No.
This is great.
So I'm gonna.
But it's a light drinker.
Well,
if I didn't tell you it was Lowland, and I just said, what were you drinking, what category would you point it to?
I would say a very young and light Isla.
I would say a young island.
Island?
Not quite as smoky as an island.
That's why I said young
yeah,
and
but
light.
like a Talisker or a Leipzig or right?
Right.
Now, why do blended malts exist historically?
Yeah.
Remember what you had was all these different rules, and then they taxed. They did two things to try to slow down whiskey. Basically, Scotch was getting popular in England, and the big English gin makers and alcohol makers were like, "Hey, that's not cool, man." And so they put a tax on importing whiskey into England from Scotland, which immediately made it almost impossible for the Scotch distillers to truly make money.
Right.
And then they taxed the Highlanders on the size of their still, not on their actual production. And so you have all of these illegal distillers, and they're traveling from the Highlands into the Lowlands and delivering their stuff to people like Johnny Walker, who is a merchant, right, in the Lowlands, and he's looking to create something, but here's the thing, back in the day, the consistency of product was a problem.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So someone makes a great thing,
right,
and you get a shipment, and then the next week it's another guy because he was the one who was able to get through, and it's a different product. And then the next time it's another guy.
Well, and I'm going to jump in right here. Even today, and even with the biggest whiskey makers on the planet, we know this from sourcing several barrels at this point. From different distilleries. What you get from one barrel to the next, when it's the same distiller, same mash bill,
same run,
same age, same warehouse, even right next to each other.
Yep.
It will be a noticeably different whiskey. I think up to 15 to 20% is the high end of the variation. It's usually about a 10 difference, 10 to 15% difference.
So imagine you're Johnny Walker and
Yeah.
you have all these customers who come to you to get whiskey.
Yeah.
And they take the barrel and fill their container and take it home. And every time it's totally different. That's a problem as a shop owner, right? And so he started doing what many people had done with wine.
Yeah.
Which was he started blending Highland malts together in order to create a consistent product for his consumer.
Sure.
And that is the origin of blended malt. The origin of blended malt is not money saving or money grabbing.
So
it is delivering a consistent product to your consumer so people choose you over all the other merchants.
and it was specifically Johnny Walker who did this.
Right, he was one of the first.
One of the first.
Yeah.
So Johnny Walker and the merchants
And then
back
you've
in
got-
the day,
within
they
about a
wanted,
decade.
they wanted consistency.
Right around a 10 to 20 year range.
Yeah.
You get Walker, Buchanan, Haig, and who am I missing? Who's in our Doers? All of these guys really started showing up into London and England around the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd all been doing things prior to that, but they all sort of arrive on the real scene all at once. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow, because what we're going to switch to from blended malt is
Timorous Beastie.
blended Scotch,
Yeah.
which mixes grain whiskey with the malt.
Timorous Beastie.
This is the name comes from a Robbie Burns poem.
Yes.
Timorous Beastie.
Yes.
And this is a Highland blend, and I can even tell you which distilleries are in it.
So between the two, I'm already liking this better.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
You know what's in here? Dalmore,
Okay.
Glengoyne,
Okay.
and Glengarioch.
This, on the nose, feels like a more matured, rounded off, yet still complex whiskey. There's multiple things going on in here.
You see that Dalmore is highly represented in this mix because that super meat, like almondy,
Yeah.
sweet amaretto note,
Yeah, along
like
with
slightly waxy.
along with a hothouse of plants.
Yes.
That vegetal, humid, dense kind
So
of...
if you served amaretto pound cake in a greenhouse,
Yeah, it could be.
then you've got the Timorous Beastie. They say also Blair Athol is in there.
I don't know what that is.
Remember the distillery. They say it's overwhelmingly sweet in the nose and it switches to floral and slightly malty. And I agree with that.
Overwhelmingly sweet? I'm not going to say overwhelmingly... They can say overwhelmingly sweet. I'm saying there's definite elements of sweetness.
Yeah.
But on the nose, the thing that was most notable wasn't the sweetness. It was the hothouse of greenery.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lowland one was interesting. Not boring.
Now,
But this...
it is a different animal in taste than it is the
It's
nose.
prettier than the Lowland one. But it's nice.
It's more matured. There's more... I'm getting some dark fruits.
This is probably the only consumption of Dalmore that Jimmy would approve, because there's no color,
Right.
and it's blended in with other interesting things, and there's no filtering,
Yeah,
and it's what proof?
It's 46.8.
Yeah, so there you go.
Blended malt Scotch, traditional non-chill filtered, Jimmy Leg, Blair, non-chill filtered. Yeah, it's nice. All right, we got Draco Rogue. If you could drink whiskey with any fictional character,
Yeah, I have one, but no one's gonna know who it is.
mine is the Matt Smith Doctor Who.
Oh, Doctor Who is a great choice. Son of a bitch.
The Matt Smith Doctor Who.
Okay, if I had to pick
And
that didn't even occur to me, and
you-
now I feel like a lesser human being.
You
for
bring
it.
the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I'll bring the whiskey.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the best time.
Yes. Okay, so I love Matt Smith as Doctor Who, but even though I initially hated him, I actually love the older Doctor Who, the old guy who was just before this new woman. I can't remember her name.
Right.
What was the older guy's name? Peter something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
He's
I initially.
good. Yeah.
I initially didn't like him, but then he got really kind of like he got kind of ruthless.
Yeah.
Right. Like his sarcasm was brutal,
Yeah.
and I kind of fell in love with him. So if I had to pick a Doctor Who,
You have the curmudgeonly old man.
I have the curmudgeonly old guy.
I have the fun guy.
Yeah, the fun guy. Yeah,
But
who wears a fez. Yeah.
but there's tragedy deep within.
Oh yeah, and you can see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when we're watching Doctor Who with my boys right now for the first time ever.
Speaking of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, for the first time ever.
Right.
And when we just switched to Matt Smith,
Yeah.
Jackson said they both cried.
Well,
for one.
so
my boys both cried.
David Tennant was a great Doctor Who.
Yes. So my boys both cried, and Jackson specifically said, my oldest who's got Asperger's, and so he's very literal. Right. He said, I think the reason I liked the other Doctor is you could see exactly what he was feeling on his face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right. David Tennant definitely portrayed.
Yeah.
And then he said this.
Right.
But the new Doctor, he means
Matt Smith.
Right. The new Doctor does it, but he does it with his eyes. And I went, you're totally right. He does do it with his eyes. That's pretty insightful. Now, my choice.
Oh, yeah.
Forget Doctor Who. My choice, who no one's going to know, is a P.G. Woodhouse character called Smith, with a P. P. Smith.
Okay.
Right? And he always introduces himself as, my name is Smith. The P is silent. And he's freakishly intelligent, hilarious, and always trying to figure out how to not do anything and still survive off of everybody else's work.
But you hang out with me every day.
I know. But he's more clever.
It's impossible.
He's actually amusing.
You son of a bitch. You got Tom Boyer. All right, MBs, raise a glass, because she said yes.
Hot damn.
We're on vacation in Ireland. Tom Boyer's with Caitlin Carter. So I'll be celebrating with some nice Irish tonight.
Cheers to you both.
Yes, cheers to that. Congratulations.
Damn, I definitely, Timorous Beastie is my home turf.
It's quite timorous.
I love that one.
You know what I think?
You think?
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
And I think.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
And I also think.
If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.